come up with new categories for the awards. The Golden Globes came up with a new one this year. They're basically picture people liked. They had, they had become such self-congratulating, virtue-signaling bores that they had to go, oh yeah, let's make a category for that. People actually paid to see something great.
Bill Maher continues his criticism of award shows, and it may be one of the reasons why he is unlikely to attend this year's Golden Globes. Maher has long been skeptical of modern award ceremonies, especially because of what he views as their increasingly woke themes. If you enjoy sharp political commentary and cultural analysis, be sure to subscribe so you never miss clips like this.
Is they do reflect society. That's why we pay so much attention, partly. And things are always changing in our industry, like streaming. It just changed the whole industry. This happens so often. So they have to come up with new categories for the awards. The Golden Globes came up with a new one this year. They're basically picture people liked. They had, they had become such self-congratulating, virtue-signaling bores that they had to go, oh yeah, let's make a category for that. People actually paid to see something great. So there's some new Oscar categories. Would you like to hear the Oscar category? I knew you would. I knew you would want to hear them.
Bill Maher opened his segment by targeting the Oscars, criticizing the ceremony for introducing new categories that he believes are designed more to satisfy woke expectations than to recognize true artistic achievement. He argued that many of these additions have little to do with cinematic excellence and far more to do with virtue signaling and political correctness. Maher focused on one particular category that had received praise in certain circles and questioned why it was needed in the first place. In his view, these changes demonstrate how award shows have shifted away from celebrating creativity and toward seeking social approval. He suggested that this trend may be one of the reasons he has no interest in attending this year's Golden Globes. While no official statement has been made, Maher sees this as part of a broader problem: Hollywood's growing focus on social messaging over storytelling. Whether viewers agree or disagree, his comments offer a blunt and unfiltered assessment of modern award shows and the influence of woke culture.
Best editing of a film that's still an hour too long. Achievement in ethnic prosthetics. Best achievement in replacing an actor who tweeted something offensive. Best use of a freeze frame, followed by the words, "You're probably wondering how I got here." The Michael Bay Coolest Fireball Award. The least annoying picture where the plot is driven by a simple misunderstanding. Best song performed by someone your niece can't believe you've never heard of.
Of course, some of the categories Maher mocks are exaggerated for comedic effect, and in some cases completely invented. But that is exactly the point he is trying to make. Through humor and satire, Maher highlights what he sees as the growing tendency of award shows to cater to woke culture, transforming events that once celebrated filmmaking and artistic achievement into stages for political messaging. His exaggerations are not intended to mislead audiences. Instead, they are meant to emphasize what he considers the absurdity of Hollywood's obsession with virtue signaling. Maher's style combines ridicule, commentary, and satire. Through sharp observations and sarcastic humor, he draws attention to what he sees as the more extreme aspects of these award categories, encouraging viewers to consider whether such additions truly honor creativity or simply serve as social statements. For many audiences, it is a funny and straightforward critique of today's award shows.
Best use of a real-life TV talk show host whoring himself out to make the movie seem more realistic. And how is President Ellis responding? Well, I know you get a lot of laughing. I had no idea this could actually be a job. I mean, I knew it could be a hobby.
Nigeria, Chicago, Mexico. I'm surprised the guy lasted as long as he did.
Maher even directs some of the criticism toward himself, acknowledging that he once appreciated the recognition that comes with award nominations. However, he now sees things differently. Although he received a nomination for his latest stand-up special, he insists that awards were never his primary motivation. Maher does not perform for trophies or red carpet appearances. Instead, he uses comedy as a way to encourage discussion, challenge assumptions, and expose what he believes are the subtle ways woke culture has influenced institutions such as Hollywood award shows. Rather than adapting his work to fit fashionable trends or categories that earn favor with certain groups, Maher uses his platform to point out what he views as the flaws in the system. For him, the goal is not personal recognition but encouraging audiences to think critically about the growing influence of ideology on artistic expression.
When movie lovers get together these days, one phrase that comes up a lot and always makes me sad is, "Yeah, you couldn't make that one today." Top of that list is the great Tropic Thunder, which the scolds have been after for years. But in February, Ben Stiller tweeted, "I make no apologies for Tropic Thunder. It's always been a controversial movie since when we opened, proud of it and the work everyone did on it." See, people, it's not that hard. He said it, and he still got a commercial. And the lesson is, if you stand up to the mob for just a day or two, their shallow, impatient, immature, smartphone-driven, gerbil minds will forget about it and go on to the next nothing burger, and you still will have your cojones.
In addition to criticizing what he sees as a woke Hollywood culture, Maher encourages actors, producers, directors, and other industry professionals to resist ideological pressure. He argues that standing up to these forces may feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is usually short-lived. According to Maher, many fears about retaliation are exaggerated. He believes that people are unlikely to lose their jobs, projects, or endorsements simply because they express disagreement with prevailing ideological trends. His message is straightforward: silence and compliance only strengthen the influence of woke culture, while courage and conviction can create space for honest storytelling and artistic freedom. By urging industry insiders to push back against these pressures, Maher presents himself not only as a critic but also as an advocate for creativity over political performance. His call is for people to stand firm and speak openly without apology.
He goes to a man who's dear to my heart for standing up for stand-up. When dozens of Netflix employees walked out over Dave Chappelle's reckless decision to perform comedy on his comedy special, CEO Ted Sarandos could have pulled the special and replaced it with more episodes of Who Wants to Watch Koreans Get But instead, he reminded his Netflix employees that comedy exists to push boundaries and told them if you'd find it hard to support our content breadth, Netflix may not be the best place for you.
Today, many television shows and movies include themes that critics describe as woke, often driven by individuals within production companies who are eager to incorporate social and political messaging into their work. Whether through subtle narratives or direct statements, ideology can sometimes appear to take priority over storytelling. However, not everyone in positions of leadership supports this direction. There are studio executives, producers, and decision-makers who resist these pressures and recognize the risks of allowing ideology to dominate creative choices. These leaders not only oppose such trends privately but are also willing to challenge them publicly when necessary. In doing so, they seek to protect artistic integrity and maintain a focus on compelling storytelling rather than performative virtue signaling. Their actions demonstrate that these trends are not unavoidable. With strong leadership and a commitment to creativity, production companies can continue producing entertaining and engaging content without yielding to every ideological demand.
I used to be a villain to the right because she wrote books about witchcraft. Now she's a villain to the left because she has the crazy belief that there's more to being a woman than pronouns and lipstick. So that was the point of the evening. How do we take a stand against cancel culture? And I suggested, since we were mostly all in show business, that we start an award show to honor the brave people who have fought back. Well, I got to tell you, the idea was met with great enthusiasm by everyone. And in short order, different people were suggesting the ways that their varied talents could be put to use.
Maher even proposed creating an award show of his own, one dedicated to recognizing individuals in the entertainment industry who had the courage to challenge woke orthodoxy. He presented the concept to Hollywood executives, hoping to celebrate those who place creativity, independence, and artistic integrity above ideological conformity. Despite his enthusiasm, however, the idea failed to gain traction. The proposal never advanced beyond the discussion stage, and the project was ultimately abandoned before it could become a reality. As a result, the award show was never launched and remains an unrealized concept.